How do you communicate the best? Hey, I'm Amy from Youth Disability Advocacy Service. Communication is important for everyone, and everyone likes to communicate in different ways. For some disabled young people, some forms of communication may be a lot better than others. Some people may also like the same information to be provided in multiple different ways. It is important to speak up and let people know which ways you like or do not like to communicate. Lisa, a young adult, she presses a button on the communication device on her wheelchair.
I really like the face-to-face interaction with people.
Nathan, a young profoundly deaf hearing impaired adult.
My favourite way to communicate is being with the person.
Ashley, a young adult with Down syndrome.
Sometimes when I use my iPad, I text them, but sometimes I love to FaceTime them.
Darcy, a teenager with Down syndrome.
Joking.
Savannah, a teenager, sitting beside Marie, a young adult, and Amelia, a teenager.
I much prefer writing.
Marie.
I kind of prefer verbal personally, simply because that way I can easily, understand what people are meaning when they say things.
Cindy, a young adult with dwarfism, sitting beside Julie, a young adult of short stature.
So I find talking to people, understanding their body language and just the intonation of my tone. I like making jokes.
Nathan.
It's more difficult for me when I'm on a phone call because of my cochlear implant. It's more better for me if I'm with the person.
Laura, a young adult, talking with Zoe, a young adult wheelchair user.
Often when I'm talking face to face with someone, I'll be talking really fast because I'm anxious.
Yeah.
And I just won't get the message across that I'm trying to get across. So if I'm talking via email or some kind of written form of communication, I'm much more confident because I can take the time to think
as well. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Savannah.
Verbally, you can't really delete what you've said, but if you're writing, you can delete a line and then rewrite it.
Laura.
In terms of the idea that important information should only be delivered in a certain way, I disagree very strongly.
Yeah.
If you're being fair and respectful to everyone, then you're going to acknowledge that everyone communicates differently.
Exactly.
River, a teenager.
If you have something very important to say, it shouldn't just be limited to talking or writing. You can talk over the phone, you can use text-to-speech, you can do whatever you want as long as you get the point across.
Laura.
Some people communicate in sign language and
Exactly.
some people communicate with pictures.
Exactly.
And so if that's the way that they communicate, then that's the way they communicate.
Veronica.
Whatever method works best for that person. And it also depends on their disability as well.
Julie.
Everyone has their own preference of communication, so you have to try the different methods of communication, and then you learn which ones work best for you and which ones work best for the people you're talking to.